I don't know about the dance that she's doing, guys. When you watch this on YouTube, I don't know what that dance was. I really don't. I've seen her perform better. This was not one of her best dances. But it's okay because we're where? We're in the Love You to Life podcast. Yeah. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Love You Life podcast, where we are loving you to life. We are so happy to have you here with us today. And I'm telling you, we got a good one. Don't we? Don't you think it's a good one?
I think so.
Okay. Well, Calvin and I were talking. We were like, you know what? Things really feel hard right now.
Hard.
Like, no matter what, it feel hard. My little car, it costs $100 almost to fill up my car with gas. Some people
Don't start with me today.
What?
I just put gas in this morning. Do
I'm
not
just
start with
saying.
me today. Because I was like, I
Yeah.
know that's my regular fill-up price that I put on there. What's happening?
I'm telling you, it was like $87 or something like that to fill my car up. And and people are trying to find groceries. Black women are underemployed right now and have been laid off from positions that they were overqualified for. We're
Amen.
trying to keep our moods and our attitudes in right working order. Some people have military family that's in a war that we don't even understand. What are y'all talking about? So a lot of things feel hard. It's cold. It's 50 degrees in May. It's just a lot of things that feel hard right now.
Mad about the weather. She mad. She mad about the weather, y'all. She is mad about the weather.
Yeah, I was fighting. I was fighting for my life trying to get to spring. It showed up and then it left. Like, what are we doing? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so a lot of things feel hard. And when things feel hard, sometimes you don't know how to move and you feel stuck. And we just want to say, hey, everybody, let's all reset because you got to choose your heart. It's probably hard to stay the same. Even though it feels hard to change, you got to figure out which heart are you willing to live with. And so if things are feeling hard for you, so hard that you have not been taking the action that you need to take for your life, so hard that you're feeling stuck, we want to say, hey, hard is probably on both sides. It's probably hard to stay the same, might also be hard to change. But if you find that change is important and that change can actually propel you forward more towards loving the life that you have, then we want to encourage you to take the hard that gets you closer to the outcome you want. Right?
Right. Absolutely. And guys, we always here to hype you up, but this is not necessarily an episode to hype you up. This is really an episode to give you take a moment and actually get clear about this. We want to be honest because so many times we are sitting on a decision, and we talked to you about decisions in episodes in the past. Some of y'all still sitting on decisions, justifying the waiting.
Justifying the waiting.
Without acknowledging the cost of
the waiting.
Where you are, right? Mm-hmm. So we know that moving in a direction with the current climate can feel very hard, especially when people literally pushing you back. They're literally saying we want you to go back to 1964. Mm-hmm. So even when people are trying to push,
they want you to go back earlier than 64.
I'm being nice. I'm trying to be nice. She's trying to make me go there, y'all. I'm trying to be nice.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, pause for 1 second. Y'all don't really know how she can go there. Oh my God. One day, I just hope she gets to go there for y'all. I hope y'all get to see it in action because she got that mouthpiece on her that is so swift. You know how the Bible said that the word of God is... the Bible said the word of God is quick, powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword. Well, she don't necessarily be having the word of God in her mouth.
It be the word. It just be in different fonts. It be the word.
But it be sharp, though. It be sharp as a mug.
Everything I'm coming with is gonna be biblically based.
I be saying what she say. I be like, she ate, y'all. She ate. No crumbs. She left no crumbs, y'all.
But for some of y'all in Love You to Life land, I do want to get with y'all because I'm like, girl, do you know who you are?
Uh-oh.
Do you know who you are?
Hello. Hello. Do you know who you are?
So this is an episode where we're not really trying to hype you up. We're just trying to remind you of who you are. Like Angela Bassett said to T'Challa, when she was Queen Ramonda, she said, "Show them who you are, T'Challa. We want you to show them who you are." Let me tell you something. When you said that, you know what it reminded me of?
Hey, black child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? What you can do? What you can really do? That you can be? Who you really can be? Hey, black child.
from?
I don't know, but guess what? A loving family friend gave Bun Bun that book. And so I'll be reading to her. I'll be like, hey, black child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? That you can do what you want to do? I read that to my baby. But before I got the book, we used to be like, hey, black child.
Do y'all make up voices too? Is this a us thing? Is this a black thing? Y'all tell us in the comments. Do y'all make up voices like this too? This is not at all the point of the episode, but this kind of stuff happens in the Love You to Life land. Do y'all make up certain voices for things?
We do all the time. And we'd be like, now, do they sound like that for real white?
But we get that from our mom. Because I think mama do that the most. I think she does that the most. Because I don't think daddy did it at all. Like, I don't remember daddy making up voices.
Probably not, but he used to act like he was speaking in a different language, though. Sometimes. Like he was speaking Spanish. He wasn't.
We're not going to get ourselves canceled. We're not going to get ourselves...
We're not going to get ourselves canceled.
We're not going to get ourselves canceled, okay? We're not. What we're not going to do on my watch is get ourselves canceled, okay?
But we'll drop down in a voice in a minute. And so, yes, as you were saying that, when you said, do you know you are? I was like, hey, black child.
Back to the episode.
Listen, this is Love You to Life land. I don't have to pretend with my friends. These my friends. These my people. They know me. If you've been listening to our episodes, you already know. Hey, black child, you know that we're going to clown sometimes because we're going to laugh. And the Bible says
life is hard. We have to clown because life is hard. And over here, we get to have some joy.
And the Bible said that laughter is medicine. A merry heart is good for your soul. That's the word of God. That's what it said. So anyway, we were talking about hard and choosing your hard. Because sometimes it's hard to move, but sometimes it's hard to stay where you at. So if you got to figure out how to move, then just do that. And that reminds me of a story.
Oh, a story.
Yes, that reminds me of a time when I almost didn't graduate college because I did not want to take speech class.
Have y'all heard this story before?
I don't know. Maybe they have. But it definitely happened because I was a senior who still needed to take the 100 level speech class for a requirement to graduate. And I didn't want to take it. And I had put it off and off and off and off and off. Because why? I was afraid of public speaking. I just didn't want to do it.
That shocks me, really.
Right. Because here's the lesson. Get the lesson, saints. Get the lesson, people of God. A lot of times, what you are afraid to move towards, your real future and your destiny and your purpose is on the other side of that, which is all the more reason why, if you are stuck and you're talking about it's hard for me to move, you really need to evaluate, do you actually need to do whatever you have to do so that you can take that action? Because many times what you need is on the other side of that thing that you are avoiding. So I was...
Pause for a second. That's not why that shocked me.
Why? That's not why it shocked you? Why it shocked you?
Because you was a soloist in the choir. You were literally on the stage singing solos.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you had never performed before. That's why it's shocking to me.
Well, I have different personas. I mean, my performance person is the different person than the one who was going to be talking in front of these people. I don't know. It was just different. Being on the stage didn't feel that way. I've been on the stage since I was, I don't know, 5 years old?
Forever. That's why it's shocking to me, which I think is probably a point too, because some of the stuff we are like afraid of moving towards, it's already there. We already doing it. We just have put a different spin on it, a different mask on it. We put it different, but like you was already doing it. You have been doing it. Like you had the muscle memory for the stage already.
Yeah, I did. I don't know why. Because even at that time, I probably was still singing in on the stage. I don't know.
Yeah, you was in the gospel choir at college.
I don't know. But I didn't want to do no public speaking, though. That's all I do know. I didn't want to do it. So I was a senior in a 100 level speech class. And I remember sitting there saying, okay, well, this is standing in between you and this degree. And so this feels hard to do this class, but it's going to feel real hard to not finish this degree.
Period.
Okay. So choose your heart. And I chose, hey, I'm going all in. Now, here, if you writing this down, you got pencil and paper? All in. 10 toes down. I'm all in on this decision that I'm going for this particular hard thing, which is to show up fully for this speech class.
Right.
Now, if you're the kind of person who was like, okay, well, as long as I pass it, I'm gonna take whatever I need to C minus or whatever it was at the time to pass. If that's
Right.
what you want to do, okay. But I said I was 10 toes down. So I listened to the instructor that day say that there was a speech lab. You could go to the speech lab and they would help you prepare your speeches in advance for the class or whatever. And I was like, okay, I have made the decision. I am 10 toes down. I'm about to be good in this speech class. I'm finna do it. And I actually went to the speech lab and they helped me to prepare my speech. And I had the highest score for that speech in that classroom that day, and probably ended up like being in the top 2 or 3 of the class completely at the end of the time. And so the thing about that is right now I can walk in any room unprepared and get on the stage and say whatever needs to be said. It just
Period.
happened. It just happened at Combine. At Combine, I was there for our meetings, for those of us that are counselors to athletes, professional athletes, and I had to fill in for one of my colleagues who had to go to another meeting right quick. She needed me to run a session that she had planned on running. I found out, like, let's say 12 o'clock noon, and I needed to be on stage at 4. What did I do? Went on stage and conducted the session, right? I didn't have to have a whole lot in memory, right? There wasn't a whole lot that I had to have memorized. But to be in front of a room full of people that I don't know, yeah, went and did it. I've done that before at another meeting in New York. They were like, that morning, I'm there getting my breakfast for this meeting. They're like, will you run this segment? Huh? Say what now? It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Y'all want me to run this segment at 11? Okay. Different other speaking engagements, rooms of 300, 400, 500, keynotes, whatever. But had I not proven to myself in that moment that I could do hard things, I might not be the person who could do that now. So I
Period.
just want to encourage you to look over your life. I'm just being vulnerable and sharing with you an example of when that happened for me. I want you to look over your life and decide, are you choosing a hard that is keeping you stuck instead of a hard that is really on your road to success, instead of a hard that's really on your way to your dream? Let the church say amen.
Amen. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the point about that means the most to me really is sometimes doing the hard thing unlocks the easy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It makes it easier for you. So, like, once you've done that, you create, and from a brain science point, we know you're creating a neural pathway, right? You don't have it, feels hard. You're creating it. Then every time you reinforce it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. But
Right.
part of what keeps us from doing that is we believe that staying is safe.
And that's
And
a
what do
lie.
we always say here? Our brain has one function, is to keep us alive.
Right.
That's it. Not to keep us happy, not to
Mhm.
give you a life that you love, but to keep you alive. And so your brain says same equals safe.
Mhm.
Stay equals safe.
Mhm.
So different is going to feel hard, might feel scary, might feel unsafe, might feel dangerous, right?
Mhm.
But that's the thing that actually gets you what you want. When you stay, here's what happened. Guess what?
What?
Now you don't trust yourself.
Oh, that's terrible.
This idea of self-betrayal, I don't think enough people talk about it. Self-abandonment, I don't think enough people talk about it.
Woo!
You act like you're taking the realistic route and not investing in yourself. You're taking the safe route and not doing that hard thing
Mm,
because it's not, your kids need you. It's not the right time. My family.
that's how they sound.
I'm
That's what
just saying. And now you don't trust yourself. You are growing more and more resentful. You more and more resentful about the people around you. Guess what? They're not the problem. You
you
are.
she's pointing guys, when if you can't, you won't see this until you watch it on YouTube. She's pointing to you guys. I just want you to know she's pointing to you.
You start comparing yourself to other people.
Right.
You get mad about them. Look,
What?
y'all know that maybe y'all don't know. So I have a podcast specifically for therapists because that's what I do in my business. I work with therapists. And so I used this example of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant in my podcast. And
What?
I didn't it'll be out by the time this comes out. But I did not use it the way everybody else. Everybody else is going in. So backstory, everybody is going in on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant because A, we're not sure she's a doctor. B, she's not licensed. C, you don't know what school she went to or what dissertation she wrote. So many questions, okay?
This
But
and
she
it's
based
girl, we don't know. I'm just laughing at how this girl's sitting up here saying it. We don't know if she's a doctor. We don't know. Like, what?
so we don't know. And so in my community of people that I work with in my business, a lot of them are like, "Oh, no, oh, no." And I said, "Listen, I can't speak to what she is or isn't, but here's what I can say. If you was up using your own voice, she wouldn't have no platform."
Ooh! You did not say that, did you? You
I
said that
did.
to the
I did. I
people?
did. I did. Because you writing a whole thesis. It's the first thing you ever posted on your page. But you
Right.
haven't said a word. Because you're afraid to show up. You're afraid to use your voice. So stop comparing yourself to other people and do what you need to do. Stop watching other people do what you know and use them as an example of what's possible for you.
Mhm.
Because if you're watching other people while you feel frozen, it doesn't make things better for you. You have
No,
to
no.
actually take the action. Staying stuck does not protect you.
Right,
It's just
right,
familiar. That's
right.
it.
And the thing about that familiarity though, is it's making your discomfort familiar. It's making your
Mhm.
pain familiar. And the problem with making discomfort and pain familiar is that that becomes your level of expectation in on your area.
Yes.
We want to raise your level of expectation. We know that discomfort happens and that pain is possible, right? But we don't want that to be the only thing that you know how to identify with. We don't want that
Right.
to be your first choice. I really think there's a problem with people who act like the only thing, that every single thing that you go toward has to be so completely painful. Because I don't think it has to be. I think that there
No.
are things that you're going to experience some pain in, but you don't have to necessarily do that. The person I think of is David Goggins. Have you heard of David Goggins?
I have, but I don't know what are you referencing?
And I'm referencing that one of the things that a lot of people talk about is his push toward like some through physical pain. I think he was running on broken bones in his feet and stuff like that. Not because he had to, but because of whatever commitment he had made to whatever physical thing he was in. And
Okay.
that's the story and that's the way he wants to go. That's fine. I don't have no intention on doing that. And so I'm just saying, yes, you might experience some discomfort in your next stage and phase of life, depending on where you're trying to go and what you have to go through to get there. But I don't want your idea of success to have to be coupled with pain. You can actually enjoy the movement in the direction of your goals and your dreams, especially after you take the step of moving out of stuckness to do so. Right? That's what I think.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. And I want to be really clear. Getting unstuck doesn't look in real life the way it looks in the movies.
Right.
There's no soundtrack over top of your head. There's no like montage. It's very simple moments. Most people don't know what you're doing. It might feel scary. It might look a little crazy, but it's not gonna look like what you are. It's not like this. "Ah," like it's not that moment. I distinctly and I think I might have talked about it on the podcast before, but I distinctly remember the moment that I decided I was getting divorced.
Oh.
And it was not a huge it was not like this. We have had way bigger arguments. I mean, like, there was so many other things. It was just this moment I was like, "Hmm, this is what it is. This isn't okay." And that I mean, that no anger, no
Mhm.
frustration, no it
Mhm.
was just like it was literally a decision. And that decision set up the next, probably like 18 months before I actually left. But that's
Mhm.
the process that had to happen in order to do it the right way or what have you. But it wasn't this big monumental moment. It starts with a decision that moving is the heart that I'm choosing. And then you take the first step. And it doesn't always get perfect. It's not always perfect. We
Mm-mm.
had one of the resources we're going to drop for you guys is a previous recording of one of our Love You to Life Club episodes. Like we used to have our group coaching program, and so we're bringing that out from the archives because we believe it to be very valuable for you all who might be experiencing some like messy middleness. Because sometimes that phase between I've decided to choose my hard and I know it's going to be better is
Mm.
messy.
Mhm. Yeah,
We
you
think
know
it's
what I
gonna be, like, freedom and perfect, and it's like, "Wait a minute. This what I did look, this what I did all this for?"
I think that's true. The expectation that we have of it really does have a lot to do with how we go through it. Right?
Yeah.
Because if we're expecting that it's going to be perfect or that everything's going to like be in complete alignment, then we may not understand that that was really the direction to go in. Because the thing about it is it doesn't all unfold in that instant. It
Right.
doesn't all like you like some stuff is just a part of your process. It has to be a part of your journey, and you're just not gonna see it until you actually get to when you needed to know it. Like when you
Right.
needed to have experienced it. If you are a person who believes that that's how life shows up. I just happen
Right.
to believe that we're not going we may not know in this season why we needed whatever we got from this season.
Right.
Until a little bit later, until another season. And so if you have that faith about your life, then you can go ahead and go through what you have to go through. But sometimes for us, we think, well, it's got to all add up right now. I got to connect all the dots
Mm.
in this moment, and you don't get all the dots in this
Right.
moment, right? So that's why I'm always looking for the benefit of whatever the season in is that I'm in. How can I be my best self? How can I take and extract from this moment for my future self, whether I can see how it all fits together or not?
Right.
Does that make
Well,
sense?
here's the thing, is the the confidence comes from movement.
Right.
The clarity comes from movement.
Mhm.
Um, everything, the next step gets shown to you the next time you have, every single time that you're making that move in the right direction. And so sometimes you're choosing the current hard because you're afraid of the unknown hard on the other side. The
Yes.
idea, and that's where that faith piece comes in. And we know from a spiritual perspective that we have to use faith if we want to be able to please God, but that God will also honor that faith.
Mhm.
So when you really take a moment to think about, like, I just need to have enough courage and faith in this moment to say, like, this is the heart that I'm choosing because I believe this is the right one. And even though it's not perfect in the middle, I'm okay with this process. And that can be really hard because you can sometimes identify with the stuckness more than the future you. And we've talked a lot about how to make your nervous system and your brain and your body more comfortable with that new version of you, right?
Mhm.
Because if you have been like, and let's just use a very simple example. If you've been robbing Peter to pay Paul, which I know a lot of people are doing financially right now, like moving stuff around. That feels familiar. Even though it's not what you want, it feels familiar. It might not be that much more difficult to move in. I'm just going to use an example like a class you want to take or a certification you want to take. Maybe that's going to add another $100 in. That part feels very unfamiliar, but it's really not that different. But what that $100 does is it opens you up to another world, and
Right.
that other world feels unfamiliar. And
Mhm.
so we sometimes are saying like, "Oh, I want this." We put it on the vision board, right? We've been saying it, we've been scripting it, we've been sitting there manifesting it, we've been closing our eyes and visualizing it, we've been doing all the things, but we haven't taken even a micro step in the right direction. And that's really what moves you through the stuckness. It's not
Mm.
these big grandiose things. It's like, what's the smallest incremental step I can take towards this thing that I want? Okay, I need to lose 100 pounds. Okay, I cannot walk around this block because I don't think my legs will actually carry me, but I can walk around this living room.
Right.
I don't
Mhm.
have enough money to go and buy all new food in my refrigerator, but I can take the skin off of this chicken.
Mhm.
It's just really those simple things
Mhm.
that are probably right in our space that we are ignoring right now because the stuckness really does do a number on your brain, right? Like and it kind of eliminates your like ability to see some of those other things that are around you. We just want you to open your eyes up to the reality that, yeah, that new thing might feel hard because it's unknown and it's unfamiliar, but it's the right hard. So
Right.
choose the right hard for you. And it's not necessarily that it's going to be like everybody's hard is not going to be the same.
Right. And
So choose the right one.
one of the things that can help people too, I think, to move through that hard is to find their community of people that are
Mm,
also moving through something, right? So I'm the kind of person who's going to tell you, of course, you need a therapist, right? And if you're not unpacking something from your past that you're
a
working
licensed therapist.
Oh, Lord. There she go digging. She digging, y'all. That was a little bit of shade. That was just a little bit of shade. But
I like it.
license, she not lying though. But that was some shade for she, you know who she referenced at the beginning. That was some shade.
Hey, you can also have a certified life coach if it's not a medical diagnosis.
That's what we was going to the next one. If you're going present to future, then you can have a certified life coach, right? What certified life coach, right? Um, and you could also have a support group, right?
Right.
You can have a group of people that are working on the same thing that you're working on, and willing to support you through whatever you're going through too. And I think that that really does speed up the process, but also
It
it
does.
normalizes some of the pain of the process. Right?
Right.
Because once you talk to somebody else who's gone through it, you don't have to feel so crazy when you're experiencing something that might have surprised you. You can actually maybe not even be surprised. They might even be able to help you prepare for the pain of the process, you know? So
Right.
when I'm talking to people, I'm always trying to say, like, hey, when you first go into your therapist, this might be how it looks. You know, you might not like this person at first, or you may not dislike them, but you may not know if y'all jive as far as could this
Right.
be your
Right.
person.
You feeling them out?
Right, you filling them out and you trying to figure out, do you wanna talk to this person? So, you may have to go, I tell you, you have to go 3 to 5 times to find out, is
Mhm.
this person really someone that you think you can connect with? And if you don't, then that doesn't mean don't go to therapy, that doesn't mean don't get a life coach, that means go find a different one. If you
Right.
have given this person, ample time to make inroads with you and you don't feel like you connect. So, sometimes just having that community around you helps you to move through some of the things that are keeping you stuck. But it's so important to start to build the vision of the pleasure on the
Mhm.
other side of whatever is
Mhm.
keeping you stuck, to keep you
Mhm.
motivated and to keep you driven towards doing it. And one of the things that I do when I'm in a season of hardness, whatever that is, wherever I feel challenged, I say to myself, "Ooh, girl. Girl, you just wait till who you gonna be on the other side of this. They ain't gonna be able to do nothing with you, dog.
And
Dog, they
that's
ain't gonna
the
be able to do
truth.
nothing with you, dog. When you get on the other side of this, they thought you had it before, but now when you get on the other side of this, they ain't gonna be able to do nothing with you, dog. They should have thought twice, my dude. They should have thought twice. That's how I talk to myself. Y'all probably know.
And she does.
I really do. Because here's the thing. What is the point of me talking to myself like I'm an enemy? I am my own self friend. I am my own self best friend because it's just me in here in my head all the time, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a way to help myself get through those moments, and that's what I've done to get unstuck. So I remember when I was really first starting to work on being able to maintain a healthy weight. It was hard for me to do 30 minutes, so I started with
Mm.
15.
Yeah.
I'm a well-endowed person in the boob area. So I made sure that I had researched, like, where can I get a good support bra? Where can I go to do that so that I can actually feel comfortable if I end up bouncing around a little bit? How do I do that? Okay, I don't really like the taste of that particular lower fat, higher protein item or whatever. What about this one? Can I try this one? Like, I'm going to always kind of gamify and play around with what it takes for me to move through those moments of challenge. And I do that by saying, oh my God, she gonna be bad. Y'all don't know about her. She gonna be bad when she get done. On the other side of it, she gonna be bad. That is how I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
developed my faith, just in God, in the Bible, in the book, in living this life, um, and believing in God. It's like, hey, on the other side of this challenge, this is going to happen. You're going to have more faith. You're going to be able to have more faith in whatever this area is. You're going to have more
Right.
character in this area. You're going to have more patience in this area. The Bible said, let patience have its perfect work. On the other side of it, you'll be what? Wanting nothing. So why am I going to go against that? I'm not going to go against it. I believe what the book said. The book said you're going to be okay.
The book.
The
So
book.
what we want you guys to really be thinking about is if you're feeling like things are hard right now and you're
Yep.
feeling stuck, what do you think the other side could look like? And if you, I think one of the things that can really be a good place for, and we'll make sure that around this episode we leave some links for you to some of the resources that we're mentioning today, especially whether you want to have therapy or coaching, which we have both available at the practice that we are at. Um, we want you to get clear about that picture of what the future will be. Because sometimes that's part of what feels stuck is, I just don't see no way out of this. People a lot of times will think like, I don't need a therapist. I need a new job. I don't need a therapist. I need this. When you get so up under something, it might feel like, well, what is talking going to do?
Mm,
How is this person gonna help my situation?
mm.
Because like when the vision I have is like you just like in a ball tied up with a bunch of string. Somebody comes along and starts helping you cut those strings. Now you get a little bit looser, you can get a little freer, you have different options, right? So
Mhm.
sometimes it's the connection, it's the community, it's the support, it's the resource that helps you to get unstuck. So we're gonna give you, like I said, two different resources around this episode that will help you. One will be a recording of one of our previous Love You to Life Club um, workshops that was very, very helpful for the ladies.
It
And
was.
guys, what you should know about when we had the Love You to Life Club, it was during the pandemic.
Mhm.
So when you when you think about a time when people were stuck, people were stuck during the
Super
pandemic.
stuck.
So people were getting laid off. They were working from home, educating kids from home. They were, but we in the Love You to Life Club, we had people who were looking to get new jobs and were looking to get new certifications, go back to school. So they had these goals and these desires and these and dreams, but they didn't have the traditional path that they could have taken, right? So maybe they were working in the office, some like we had like, healthcare workers who were still working at the hospital, but we also had people who were working from home. So it had to look differently. So they didn't, I mean, during that period of time, we didn't have a vision of what the future could be because nobody knew. Nobody knew what we were going to be doing.
You know what was gonna look like? Mm-mm.
So we had to help them kind of coach them through being able to figure out what it would what it could look like on the other side and how to get there. And so we just thought it would be really helpful for so many people in this season of life. So we'll make sure we have access to those resources around there. We just want you to know that every day that you don't choose, you're still choosing.
My God, today.
Every day that you stay stuck and don't make the choices that you know are right in front of your face, that you decide like, "Oh, I'll think about that later." You're actually deciding.
Mm. Give them some examples of areas where they are possibly staying stuck.
So the one that comes most easily to mind to me because probably because we have so many people that reach out to the well for marriage counseling is when there starts to be a conflict in the marriage, right? And what that looks like is we've had the same argument 1,000 different times, 1,000 different ways, and it never gets resolved.
Mhm.
The idea that time will solve that is
Mm,
something you're telling yourself, and
mm.
you probably need some different skills or resources to help you work through that process. So that's usually something. Um, I've seen the same thing with parents though, with their kids, right? So, oh, they're just moody. Oh, they just you're being a teenager. And that's possible too. But
Mhm.
again, if it's starting to escalate, they're not only are they a little bit moody, but now their grades are not looking real good. That's another one. I've seen it too with, obviously like with the clients that I work with in my coaching business. Yeah, any business is gonna have peaks and valley, ebbs and flows,
Right?
but if it's been 3 months, 6 months, 7 months of your sales going down, 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 and you haven't done anything like you've tried maybe different things and none of those have consistently worked,
Yes.
you need to ask somebody to kinda help you get that in the right going right in the right direction. So, most
Mhm.
of the time, I think there's 2 things that really keep people from moving when they feel stuck, it's the embarrassment that comes
Yes.
from, like, I don't wanna let people know how bad it is, which is why I'm always telling, my clients, like, "Listen, you can't show me nothing I haven't seen." I done seen some things. But so it's the embarrassment and the fear that it's too far gone,
Right. The other
and
thing I
neither are
think
you
too
usually.
is they think somebody's not gonna understand. They
Mhm.
think that people won't understand how they got there or what they're going through. But here's one other part. Sometimes it might mean that you're leaving a community that you're used to being around.
That's another one.
So I think it can show up where maybe you haven't been putting yourself out there. You want to be married or you'd like some sort of partnership for romantically and you're not putting yourself out there. It can be your health and wellness in the way you're taking care of your body and you think
Right.
there's some changes that you need to make, but everybody in your family eats fried chicken every single day. That's just what they
With the
do,
skin.
right?
With the skin.
It could be, I have a dear friend that's gonna be moving internationally soon, and your daughter is international now. And for some people, it's like, you know what? She moved where? What did she
Mhm.
do? And she had our full support because why? She had the lifestyle where she can go ahead and do that. She didn't have any
Right.
husband or that she had to take care of. She didn't have any children she had to take care of. That's what she want to go do it.
Right.
So sometimes it is doing something that people around you haven't done yet or that you haven't seen somebody do yet. So we just want you to look over your life right now and say, you know what? Where am I not really satisfied? What area am I not really
Mhm.
satisfied with in my life? And is there a place where I'm stuck? If you go to church every single Sunday, but you don't feel full when you leave, but this
Woo, child.
but this is the church that Big Mama and them always went to, I mean, I just had to say it. I don't know what you wanted me to say. I had to let the people
You
know.
said you gotta leave it. You gotta leave the
I
church.
mean, at least go get you some Bible study on Wednesday from somewhere else. I mean, hey, because I understand community and the fact that you've always been there,
Right.
but if that's not working for you, it's not. If you were living in a city that doesn't work for you, you're like, you know what? I just hate living here, but everybody is here. Maybe it's time for you to consider moving somewhere else.
Right.
If you've spent a lot of money for a degree, but you really don't like where you're working in right now, it's not your thing. You really have an interest somewhere else. Go investigate the other interests.
Yeah.
It was your time, it was your money, and if you need to change it, change it.
Yeah,
So,
I was good about that one, y'all.
yeah, yeah. We was talking about your work history this morning, and it's just like, well, I'm just saying, we talked about a job you used to have this morning, and you
Oh,
do something totally different
I
now.
cut my bangs, y'all, this morning. When y'all see this episode, I cut my bangs.
Okay. Calvalyn used to be a hairstylist.
And so I told her, she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm finna go cut my hair." And she's like, "What?"
I said, "What are you
She's
doing?"
like, "Should you
What?
be doing that?" And I was like, I had a whole degree in cosmetology.
And I trust
I
her with my hair. I
I
trust
can
her.
cut some bangs.
I trust her with my hair. She was fine, but I'm just like, you a little rusty with that, ain't you? You sure you want to do that
Oh,
today? But
she
anyway,
tried it. She tried
but
it.
anyway, I'm just saying, you don't be. And so if you are feeling stuck anywhere in your life, if there's an area of your life that doesn't suit you right now, it just doesn't bring, you don't feel the love for it that you used to feel, you might want to ask yourself some questions about it and investigate whether or not you need some support, some community, to be able to start to move through it. And so again, you could get a therapist, you can get a licensed therapist, you can get a certified life coach, you can have a support group. And that's a great place to start because usually on the other side of being stuck is just the thing that floats your boat. It's the thing that fills you up. It's the things that makes you feel light and fluffy inside.
And remember, you're not waiting on the right time. The right time is waiting on you.
I knew that's what he's gonna say. I knew that's what he was gonna say. I knew that's what he was gonna say. The right time is waiting on your butt. So don't do it.
So here's what we want for you guys. We hope you love this episode. Do us a favor, do all the things. Number one, if you like it, rate it, give us a review, share it
Yes.
with somebody that you love. Make
Yes.
sure you check the description box. We'll have lots of resources from there. Definitely connect with us on the socials and all the things. But we also want to hear from you on this episode. We want to hear, what is the hard thing that you decided to do and did, and tell us how it's going. So don't just tell us about the hard thing that you're avoiding that's keeping you stuck. Tell us that you did it. We hope that you get a little bit of encouragement to do hard things because you deserve what comes on the other side.
I love it. All right, guys.
We'll see you on next time.
That's it. That's it for this episode. See y'all later.